Thank you so much for joining me this week. When I say some chat has gone on, some chat has gone on. See, anyway, the episode opens up with Sax meeting with Dre to confront him. Because Dre basically tired of walking around with the ankle monitor. Because, he really can't make the moves he want to make. And all the people that he normally deal with don't even want him around. See, anyway, Sax still refuses to remove it. Bro, I look naked. I got on clothes, y'all. Get ready for this wig. But anyway, so Dre calls Ghost and he like, look, you know, I need you to, to basically take Sax out because he's tired of the, shiesty stuff that he's doing. And Ghost is like, nah, I'm not doing that or whatever. You didn't meet with Jason. The deal is off. He was like, stay the fuck away from me with that chip around your ankle. He called him something. I think he referred to him like being a dog with an ankle monitor on. So Tommy, Cash, and Keisha get settled into their new home. They look all happy and all of those things. Really trying to embrace the suburban life. Sax goes and meet with Tamika over at her new job because she's still an attorney. She's just not working for the government anymore. She basically told him like, look, you gonna get prosecuted. You made a deal with the devil. She was like, the best thing I can do is find you a nice, comfortable golf course to like prison community to do your next 8 to 10 years. I mean, she said it nicely, but in so many words, it made sense because she was like, well, what you want me to do at this point? I'm not gonna lie to you. Sax, and then not only that, they made their deal behind her back. She didn't know anything about it. I mean, well, she was gone when they made a deal, but either way, she used to work there. She lost her job fooling with Sax. So honestly, I wouldn't really care too much. She looking good though, girl. Her hair done. She looked real nice. She looked happy. Moving on, Sax and Tariq. So he rolled up on Tariq at his school. He basically let him know, I know it's illegal for you to come trying to talk to me without my parents around. And basically Sax was like, yeah, I know you helped Tommy get inside and this is that. And once he hit him with that little um, it's illegal for you to talk to me without my parents around, Sax really couldn't even talk to me more. That scared him off. So Sax rolled up on Keisha. He did a lot of rolling up on people in this episode because he was really desperate at this point. So he rolls up on Keisha when she pulling her driveway. He said, well, I see y'all like the Jeffersons. Y'all moved on up. In so many words, he threatened to expose the fact that, you know, she with him and he's known for selling drugs and everything will be seized, even your shop and all of those things. So he did a lot of scare tactics on Keisha, but she held it down. She didn't have anything to say. um Basically saying she would be an accomplice, she would face jail time, all that other good stuff. She didn't roll. So while Tariq was at school, um it was really boring for him. I mean, the other environment was much more challenging. But after his class, well, his teacher asked a question, he gave an answer, whatever. After class, he pulled to the side and he was like, well, yeah, you can make a lot of money here. I already called one of my friends and found out there was a reason why you got put out of choke. Um, I know this school is boring or whatever. And then he was like, are you holding? And Tariq was like, what? So he went and searched Tariq's bag to see if he had any drugs. So he didn't have anything and he left. Keisha had a visitor, which was Kate. Kate, crazy behind, pulled up on her talking about, oh, I take the bedroom far to the other end. Y'all honeymoons, y'all everything good right now. She said, but that will change. So they got to getting into it or whatever, and Kate basically was like, yeah, that's why Trailer Trash Barbie got killed. She was like, she probably floating somewhere. And Keisha was like, okay. So basically Kate went ahead and told her, he was like, yeah, she broke his trust. And I guess in a way, Kay felt that's what Keisha would do because she had her son. And of course, in a couple episodes back, she talked about how she will always have to put her son's best interest first. So that's why she really never thought she was good enough for her son. So after that conversation, Keisha put Kate out. She had to go. Um, Tasha and Tariq sat down and talked about the game further. I guess, she was basically giving him his next drug dealer lesson 101, talking about how the brick was worth 18 and 20K, talking about how to cut one, how to pay his people so he couldn't lie, steal, or use his own product. Um, in the process of it, her mom walked in on what they were doing, and basically her mom was asking her like, "You selling drugs? You got my grandson involved. That ain't money that you made from the daycare. I know what kind of money you pulling in at the daycare. That ain't it." Da, 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 da. She was like, "Look, honestly, I don't have to explain shit to you, long as my rent get paid and yours do too. Yes, come on, Tasha." So we ain't gonna get too much. We gonna give mama too much after that. Um, so Ghost and Tariq goes to pick up his tuition check from Ghost. Ghost goes on and on talking about the Queen's project or whatever and stuff like that, how he was going to add a basketball court. Tariq really ain't care about the basketball court because he didn't want to play the basketball anyway. He want to run the streets. He was telling him, leave the street, get life alone. He's really trying to build up some things. Tariq was telling Ghost about how Sax rolled up on him at school. He told him how he let him know he ain't had no business talking to him and all that stuff. So that was a good thing. So Ramona shows up. She meets Tariq. They greet one another. Tariq gathers his check and, basically is ready to exit. And he realizes who she is and, things of that nature. Anyway, he leaves. So Ramona makes a statement or hint about James and Patrick possibly being a running mate one day. And Tariq was like, "Well, don't you got to do a background check for that?" I thought it was real cute and real shady at the same damn time. So Sax and Blanca meet and they talk about Proctor being killed by Tommy. And how Keisha can be written down as an accomplice because of the lease that is in her and Tommy's name, and that Tommy's LLC is written all over her books. That's one of the things that they had said, and was talking about how he was cleaning his money through her hair shop. Also, they talk about Eric Stark. They claim the ashes for Kanan. They went back and checked the surveillance camera, and it was Tariq with a fake ID. They also tied together that at some point in time, Dre and Kanan used to work together and run the streets together. And Blanca was trying to figure out how to find Dre. And she was like, you really can't find him nowadays. And he was like, oh, well, he go to the ankle monitor number. So she pulled up on him at a little cafe. He in there with his baby, the baby coloring and stuff. They having a nice little afternoon. So Blanca basically asked Dre for his assistance. And Dre is like, look, what can you do for me? He was able to tell her that he know for a fact that Kanan was he did know him and he was in DC that night that Raymond Jones got killed. So he ended up, I guess, coming up with a agreement with Blanca on helping him do what he needed to do to try to get Sax's behind and get that monitor off of his ankle. So he told her that Tariq killed him because Tariq had came to him, asked him for the address. He gave him the address to the boy, Raymond Jones, because that's the dude that had killed his sister. Sax basically is going to end up paying for what he did, and that's what Dre want to happen. So she agreed to help him. Ramona and Tate gets to the debate. Now this is really good. So, Ramona, I guess, talks about, well, hints to the idea of Ghost being a running mate, and Tate like, no. So, Ghost shows up with Derek, and he was like, "What you doing?" Tate like, "Well, what he doing here?" He was like, "Oh, well, that's just in case you need some questions," because he was a part of his campaign at one point in time. So he was like, just in case you need some help with questions or whatever. And he was like, and he was looking at him like, okay. So Derek leaves them where they are, and basically Derek goes over to pay someone else to turn Tate's microphone on early because he knew the conversation was gonna go left. He was gonna start talking trash. So he basically, Tate went in, was talking about his opponent that she didn't even know how to work an iPhone if it wasn't for her assistant. He just went in and was like doing everything that Ramona did not want him to do at the debate. He basically did it by having that conversation with Ghost, with Ramona in the room. Like, it was terrible, train wreck. But anyway, so Ramona ended up, of course, asking him to leave the race later on because that's how bad that situation got. But anyway, so Tariq goes and breaks in and searches the teacher's desk, and he finds a lot of paperwork showing that the man ain't had no money. He was in a lot of debt and he couldn't pay his bills. And he was like, he took that to Tasha and basically, shared he would be a good person to work for them. But of course, Tasha said he wouldn't. They need to insulate themselves, meaning that he didn't need to know he was working for them. So, again, Ramona had asked him to leave the race. So he said Tate convinced Ramona that he will get with James and Patrick to smooth things over or whatever to move forward. She was okay with the idea, so she set it up. Cash and Keisha gets pulled over by Blanca and CPS. That was a crazy situation. So anyway, they both forced out of the car. The boy, he forced out with the CPS person. She's left behind to talk to Blanca. So Blanca is basically letting her know, look, either I'm gonna arrest you now and we're gonna take him. He not going to his convicted felon daddy. He going to CPS. He going into the foster care system. And you going to jail. So she was just like, look, your name is connected to this man. He gonna leave you left holding the bag. We need your cooperation, and basically, like both of y'all names is on this deed out here, and we know that it's some dope money involved. So, under duress, Keisha did sign the paper. Her reason for signing the paper was because, of course, she didn't want nothing to happen to her son. She signed, she went on her way, and the feds was gonna be in contact after that. So Ramona goes to play nice and in front of the cameras. So Ramona goes to go play nice with Tate in front of the cameras. To put on a good front. But anyway, come to find out, another one of the candidates possibly wants Ghost to be a part of their campaign as a lieutenant governor. So, of course, they don't want Tate to know, but she still wants them to resolve whatever they got going on over there because she knows that Project is involved as well. Tommy takes Cash to his little basketball practice, and Cash ended up confiding in Tommy, letting him know that him and his mom was pulled over. His mom looked scared, and that's something no more child would do. Tommy goes home, confronts Keisha about it. He demands to know what she told him because he was like, I don't know when CPS started rolling with the police. He was like, you had to give them something in order for them to even release y'all. And he was like, well, he asked her the reason why she didn't tell him. She said because she knew that he had killed Holly, and she didn't want him to not trust her. But hell, she was trying not to get dead. That's what it was. Um, Cause Tommy was pissed. He was the one who played that man crazy. So Tommy looked at her. He was shocked. So for a whole day, you knew that I killed my ex, that I really, really cared about. And he was like, he was shook because he was like, you still here? And she was like, yeah, I'm still here. Girl. And so she asked him why was her name on the house. He was like, I put your name on the house to protect you, and plus the house is paid for. So, anyway, so the teacher gets a text from an unknown person about the unknown drugs that's in his car or whatever. And he didn't object to it. He got in his car and he tried to find out where the text is coming from. So he seen Tariq walking out on the sidewalk. He pulled up and asked Tariq. He was like, was that you? And Tariq was like, huh? So of course he played it off. Ghost and Tommy at this point, they ready to kill Sax. They tired of him rolling up on all their family members and all this crazy stuff he doing. So anyway, well, no, Tommy was ready to kill him at that time. Ghost was like, look, we can't kill no law enforcement. And so Blanca pulls up on Ghost, and talking about how she knew Tariq got put out a choke for selling drugs, and Ghost was talking about filing a harassment charge against what's his name, Sax, and she was like, well, Sax is suspended, so that wouldn't even go through, which was a lie because Dre's went through. Anywho, she I guess she was frustrated with the conversation that she was having with Ghost, and it was going nowhere. So he left because he had to go do something. She saw that glass on the counter and she took it and got it tested for DNA. So Keisha and Blanca talked. No. Keisha called to tell Blanca that the only reason she agreed to all this stuff is because of her son. She didn't want CPS to come get him. And now, she don't have anything on the time and she ain't trying to be involved. So at that point, she was like, look, the feds getting ready to pick y'all up shortly. So you can't turn back. And she was like, well, I'm going to come in after I pick my son up. So she went and started, packing her stuff. So Ghost and Tommy finally get together about Sax. They go break in the man's house. The man, and he done lost his job where he was on suspension. So he was sitting in there jacking all to a porn movie or whatever and got caught in the act. They rolled up on him. So they break in his house. Tommy put the gun in his mouth. He ended up talking to Tommy was talking so much trash. He ended up basically telling him he had killed Angela. He was like, yeah, I did it, motherfucker, and this, that, whatever. And so Sax looked at Ghost, and Ghost was like, I ain't seen shit. Like, what you talking about? So they put a bag over his head. Everything, they tied him up. Everything was about to be a done deal. So Sax was even talking through the clear bag about all the stuff that the feds had on everybody, and Ghost, when he heard Tariq, he really wanted to know what they knew about Tariq. So at that point, Ghost was like, wait a minute, because like Tommy was hyped, he was ready to do this. So Ghost like, hold up, if anything, we own him now because he ain't about to have no job soon. So they ended up not killing him. And Ghost told him, he was like, now you owe me because I saved your life. So Blanca ended up finding a 50% match on the Jones case, the lead she got from Dre. So it was 50% of St. Patrick's DNA male. So basically, she was able to bring that to her boss. Um, so Dre and Blanca got together. He came in and filed a complaint. Once Sachs, he was able to get his ankle monitor taken off. Ghost called Tasha and was talking about how Tariq when he got those ashes and picked them up and used that name Eric Starks, and how the feds had rolled up on Keisha. And Tasha ended up saying, okay, I gotta go. So little Tasha go open the door and here comes Blanca, talking about how she found the blood that could be Tariq's or whatever. And also that they had a witness that said that Tariq or Kanan wasn't at the penthouse that night, that she claimed that they were. So in Tasha's head, she was thinking it was Keisha. Because, I mean, who else she thought knew? So, James Gold finally meets Tate. Actually, the crazy thing was, he didn't make it to the press conference with all the cameras and stuff. He was late. He went and took care of whatever business, and maybe it was done purposely because honestly, they already had a plan for him to go to the other candidate, but they just didn't want Tate to know. So he really didn't even show up in time. So Tate, he came in, he was over as of 10 minutes ago. It ain't no Queens City project or whatever it's called. Tate was like, the city revoked all the permits to the site. He told him, you effed me. He said, I'll return the favor. Now get the F out. While he was drinking his liqueur. So James leaves. I mean, whatever. So Sachs go meets with his boss and he's talking about how Dre filed a formal complaint. Sachs got to talking about all this other stuff and da da da. And the boss was like, okay, I would be interested to hear all that stuff. He said, but at this point, you know. So he basically fired him. That was that. Head security escort him out. That was that. So Tommy and Cash, they go hanging out after Tommy picked him up from basketball practice. Because Tommy is just through the roof. He excited. He loves his girl. He go ring shopping. He take little Cash with him. It was so cute. It was like a cute little psychopathic fatherly thing he had going on with a sweet kid. It was cute. But anyway, so Tasha goes banging on Keisha's door and was like, she's like, how you know I live? She was like, that's all you've been talking about. I went to your job. The girls told me where you stay. I was like, they ain't even friends no more. They told them where the girl. Okay. So first thing she said to her was, keep Tariq's name out your mouth. She was like, ain't nobody been talking about him. And I ain't been talking to nobody about any of this. So the paper was lying on the table and Tasha saw it and she was like, you talking? She was like, no, the only reason I did that because CPS people was going to threaten to take my child and whatever like that. Tasha didn't believe her because at that point she had already heard somebody is talking and telling about Tariq. Tasha grabs Keisha keys and she was like, look, I can't let you leave. So she was like, well, you know, she looked and her purse was sitting there. So Tasha was like, oh, well, what's in your purse? They go jump, try to get to the purse first. Tasha gets it first. They fighting, they struggling over the gun. The gun goes off. Keisha is the one that ended up getting shot. Falls to the ground, all that good stuff. Tasha stood over her. She was like, what about Cash? And basically, in so many words, she was just going to leave. She was like, why you just won't let me leave? I'm not telling nothing. I haven't been telling nothing. And at that point, she didn't even trust him. because they hadn't even been friends for so long. And if they were talking, it probably wouldn't have been that way. But because they weren't even friends anymore, so much that happened in between them, especially with this dude Tommy. She shot in the head and killed the dead on the floor. Moment of silence for our sister Keisha. Moving on. So Tommy comes back. He all excited. He got this big bouquet of flowers. Him and Cash gonna surprise her with this ring. He gets to the front door and he started looking around, looking like, okay, something going on. So he turns to tell the little boy, Cash, go sit in the car, change your plans. I'ma call you when I'm done, which was so sweet because he didn't want that boy to find his mama like that. So he comes and in the house, and he just dropped the ring, dropped to his knees, and just utter shock. And that's basically what happened at the end of the episode. Now, my thoughts on this episode was, I pointed out that Tate looked like he not done with Ghost because he's really pissed off at how he effed him over. He know Ghost's past, and with him used to be like a law enforcement officer turned political person. I could see him trying to make his life a living hell. But Ghost gonna have that tea on him after that stick up with that boy. He gonna have that tea on him over that gun. Tasha killed the wrong witness. That's what I think about it. I think Dre was the major witness. He was the one that knew everything, and Tasha then killed the wrong person. Automatically thinking because Keisha won't fuck with her, Keisha was talking, and that wasn't even the case. I don't think Saxe is done yet because he don't have anything else to lose anymore. He done already lost his career, and he's potentially losing his freedom for the next few years. So he's not done. My biggest problem is Tommy might actually think that Ghost killed Tasha because during that conversation, he was like, when he told Tommy, he was like, you owe me for that too. Like, basically, you owe me because you killed my girl. And that, that was prior to him telling Sax, you owe me because I saved your life. So, with that, he might think he retaliated. And when all that stuff came out, that's we halfway through the season, y'all. This is about to get lit. That was a really good episode. I was just messed up and sad that Tasha lost her life. She ain't had nothing to do with it. But anyway, we'll see y'all next week. Y'all stay tuned.